that suffered in the University of Cape Town. Is the University of Cape Town. For more, we're joined by the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Mamokgethi Phakeng. A very good day to you. We hope you're well.
Thank you, Desiree. We are well. Fine.
We told this morning that the Southeaster has moved away from Cape Town, but of course leaving behind untold destruction. Have you been able to conduct an initial inventory in terms of your losses?
No, we're busy with the assessment. We met with the executive this morning, so the team is out assessing the extent of the damage. All we can say at the moment are the buildings that have been affected. And most importantly, our library that holds our special collection, and we are devastated. And there's two residences, oldest residences, Smarts and Fuller Hall, that are also damaged. But we should be able to tell the extent of the damage by tomorrow morning.
We were speaking earlier to the MMC for Security and Safety in the Western Cape, JP Smith, and he was saying that a portion of the library was able to be saved when initial reports was that it was gutted. What's the actual story?
There's part of the library that's been able to be saved because of the sprinklers which were activated as soon as the fire broke. So if we didn't have that system in place, it would have been completely gutted. But those who know the library would know the Jagger reading room. That's what's completely destroyed. But we'll see, how much of the special collection is completely destroyed at the moment. But I mean, the fire could have spread much wider thanks to the sprinklers that got activated with the smoke and saved a lot of our assets there.
The government of Cape Town is also talking about an arrest that has been made this morning, bringing to the fore suspicions of arson. How are you engaging with this conversation?
Well, we are not engaged with that conversation because the fire started off campus. It didn't start on campus, so it spread onto our campus, and so the city is managing that situation. Of course, we're meeting with the Premier today and his team. He'll be doing a walkabout on campus to assess, to see the damage and so on, and we'll hear in that perhaps in that meeting they'll give us an update. But I mean, we've been completely grateful for the city's fire department, the amazing work that they did. I might say with, not so many resources, and they've managed to, I think they did as much as they can, because people see the library being damaged. I mean, it could have been worse. The UCT team working with the fire department, we try to protect the areas that are in danger, but more importantly, switching off all the particular laboratories that have got explosives, that if they caught fire, or it would have been much more disastrous, making sure the gases are all switched off at the right time before even, the fire in the library took us by surprise because the fire department was there and we thought everything is under control. And that's what happens when you have the wind, just blowing, and fire ends up in places that you don't expect.
The wind plus the fact that the library houses a lot of paper, could that have been an exacerbating fact?
Say that again, Desiree.
You were saying that the wind was making it difficult to fight off the fire, but I was saying plus the fact that the library houses a lot of paperwork. Could this have exacerbated the situation?
Well, it could have, but as I said, particularly because the library houses a lot of paperwork, it could have been worse. Yeah. It could have been the whole of the library. Anyone who knows the UCT library will know that it circles around Sarah Bartman Hall. So it could have gone from the Jagger room and went right across the entire library because there's paper everywhere, but it didn't. And that's what we are delighted about. We are devastated about what's damaged. I mean, the it's something that we never imagined, but we're grateful that it didn't do much more damage than it could have.
Of course, part of the work of universities is fundraising in the work of advancing education, especially trying to make education affordable. How is this going to impact the work of the University of Cape Town? We hear the latest that campuses have been closed.
Well, we have closed the campus for today and tomorrow whilst we do the assessment. We also don't think it's a good space for humans to come in and occupy, because the smoke can be good for anyone's health. So we limiting it only to people who are there for a purpose, to assess, and by tomorrow we'll be able to say whether we'll be able to open the campus for teaching and learning from Wednesday. Remember that students have been evacuated off campus. They're in hotels. We need to make sure that students will be able to access campus before we can open it for the academic program. So certainly this week will be disrupted. There's no question about it. And this is just how crises work. But I'm sure next week we should be back on track in full force, despite the damage.
Let's thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks very much,
Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Professor Mamokgethi Phakeng. Now,